A teacher in Pennsylvania has been arrested for attempting to have sexual relations with an 11-year-old student. Now, we do these stories quite often. It was a female teacher by the name of Geraldine Alcorn. I don't know if that's how you say her last name. Nonetheless, she was having some sort of relationship with an 11-year-old student, an 11-year-old female student. Okay, so the 28-year-old teacher is accused of sending more than 2,400 text messages to a female student where she expressed a deep love for the child and talked of running away with the minor. The child's mother first discovered messages from her to her daughter on her iPod, along with a handwritten letter labeled "Things Miss Alcorn and I do, or can do, what we can do, and when we can do it."
Wow, Jesus. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Look, this is what we're calling an epidemic of female teachers going after their students. Maybe they did it just as much before. We just didn't notice it, and we just have better information and more of a national media now. Maybe it's copycats, and they're getting inspired in some bizarre way by one another. The twist here, again, is how incredibly young the student is, and the fact the student's a female, right? Like, I mean, just when you think, like, they can't go lower in age, could they? They can't get any weirder, can they? They do.
She was trying to gain custody of the girl so they could run away together. I mean, it's just a sick story. And, you know, going back to your point about whether or not this is an epidemic, I think that this is probably something that happened for a really long time. But this is the power of technology. Technology makes things much more transparent, whether it's dealing with police brutality or dealing with sexual assault cases or pedophilia. And in this case, I mean, I don't really know what this woman was thinking, but the incredible thing is she gets caught, she gets arrested, she resigns from the school, obviously, and then she continues to try to get in touch with the 11-year-old. So according to reports, even after she resigned from her position in March following a police investigation, police say she still attempted to contact the girl. On March 13th, 2015, after she resigned, she went to the school to collect her belongings. Then on March 16th, the 11-year-old female discovered gifts and several letters, some encrypted, in her locker and desk. The letters, written by the teacher, instructed the 11-year-old female to contact her. Alcorn supplied the 11-year-old female with her telephone number and was encrypted on a math worksheet where the 11-year-old female was instructed to follow the numbers circled.
No, you know, I think I disagree with you. Look, it's just speculation. It's really hard to come up with evidence on this, but I think they are getting ideas from one another. I think they're seeing the stories, and for whatever reason, it's getting into their heads subconsciously, and they're acting up. I can't imagine that there was all of these female teachers in the past who were trying to have sex with 11-year-olds, boys and girls.
Well, I don't think that people who are not predisposed to being pedophiles read these headlines and they're like, huh, I think I'll try it out.
No, I hear you on that, but look, two things about that. One, sometimes there will be a rash of suicides in a particular place, all done in the same way. It does become an epidemic. It does spread. Sometimes people's minds work in crazy ways. So remember, in this case, as far as we know, they did not have a relationship yet, okay? She wanted to, like, run away with her, and she had these romantic feelings towards her, right? So I don't know what that's called. I don't know if that's pedophilia yet, if they didn't have the relationship yet, etc. But I think it's more of an emotional thing with these female teachers than it is a sexual thing.
Of course, yeah, there's definitely a difference. There's the emotional element to it, whereas with the male teachers, I think it's much more about the physical, sexual connection.
Yeah, now, look, of course, those are broad generalizations, and some of the female teachers have had a lot of sex with the students as well. So I just think that it might be influenced in a way that we can't quite imagine and get our minds around. But it does happen from time to time when humans are influenced by the behavior of others to go in that direction in ways we can't imagine. In this case, it's even more disastrous because it's an 11-year-old, and there appears to be no bounds of reason.